I do want to talk a little bit about my apothecary here. This is the reason that I do all of the gardening that I do. Make sure there's no snakes in here. And oregano is almost as bad as mint. Doesn't bother me any. I will cut them back and they will come back again and again, and so I can get lots for the winter to dry for cooking and other things, making oil. I do always hate cutting them. I'll be back next week and then it'll all be right back here, so I think that's enough for now. So I went ahead and started thinning out some of the oregano today. It's gotten to the point where it starts to fall over on the other plants. And so I go ahead and just start thinning it out early, and it will continue to grow and give me plenty of herb for the rest of the year. I'll continue to do that through the rest of the year because they go a little crazy. Not quite as crazy as the mint, but it definitely has a tendency to want to take over as well. So they just need to be thinned here and there. And I just take everything off of the stem, mostly because I dry so many things through the year that I can't have big bunches of things everywhere, and I have to kind of consolidate. And this is one reason why I dry as I go, because I just don't have the room to store everything in the amounts that I dry because I use so much product. So I will strip all of the oregano off of this and sit it over every couple of days. I'll just kind of zhuzh it around so it gets airflow and it dries and it doesn't mold. And after it's completely dry, it goes into a jar with a lid. This will be used for cooking, of course. I mix it, I make a dry mix with my rosemary, oregano, basil, and thyme, and those are usually Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, things like that. So I do go through tons and tons of oregano. It's good for so many things, and the chickens love it too, so if we ever have excess, that's a good thing to use it for. They love it. And I will go through this whole basket and set it aside, and then it'll be good to go in actually just a few days. Oregano dries very, very quickly. The same as mint. It dries very, very quickly too. The key is just to keep the circulation moving so it doesn't mold, because there's nothing worse than going through all of that work and having it mold. I actually just had that happen with some dandelion root, so that was very disappointing and heartbreaking to have to toss out all of that. But you just have to make really, really sure that it's dry before you package it or you seal it up, or that will happen. And that is probably the first time I've ever had that happen. And I actually told myself, hey, you're probably jarring this a little too soon. In fact, I had left the lid off for a little while, and I just got a little impatient and I paid for that. So lesson learned, that's the main point, is that you learn your lessons and you keep moving forward. And I will go through all of this and have it drying so it'll be ready for use. I do want to talk a little bit about my apothecary here. This is the reason that I do all of the gardening that I do. I grow everything, mostly everything. There's a couple of things that I do buy, but I grow mostly everything that I use in my teas, my oils and herb mixes, oxymels, salves, all the different things. My goal is to grow everything that I use. And I keep things drying throughout the year. This is the time of year that things really start to fill up and everything's laid out drying. I always have something going, whether it's, I've got lamb's ear, I've got plantain, violet, all the flowers, borage, calendula, daisy, have, of course, all the oregano I'm working on, and dried herbs. This is just some of it. This is my main area that I work at, where I mix my teas and all the different things. And I have my little tea station over here where I keep all my little tiny jars, my tea bags, my all the things for my goodie baskets and all of that kind of thing. And I have, you know, oils and kombucha, just the different things that I use on a very regular basis. And I do a lot of care packages and things like that. So I do constantly. It's a rotation of things where I'm always in the process of drying things so I can get oils infused, so I can make salves or different things like that. I always have tinctures, of course, got different ones all down here. Oils, tinctures, have vinegars that I make. I've got more kombucha everywhere. And I'll give a little more in-depth tour of the rest of my herbs and processes. But this is just a little bit of my main area where I work, and I process all of the things that I grow in my gardens. And we're just getting started for the year. This is just getting the first bits moving. I've already done a lot, but we're just really getting into the growth and having all of the things starting to bloom. And so this is my busy time of year, and it's my favorite time of year, and the gardens are just going crazy. It's a lot of work, but it's very fulfilling, and it's what really makes me truly happy. It benefits my family. My husband drinks my teas every day, all day long, and so do I. And it's been really beneficial for us, and it's something that's super important for me, for the health of my family. And knowing where the product comes from, I do have some teas here and here that are purchased teas. I pretty much don't use them anymore because I just make all of my own. I have so many kinds of herbs. I either forage or grow myself. I do forage a lot of things. The violet, plantain, the mullein. I've got lamb's ear down there. I've got red clover here. I've got wild lettuce there that's just about ready to go and be bottled. I've got mushrooms drying everywhere. We grow them, we forage them. So we always have a rotation of something. It just happens to be chanterelle season. So that's my very favorite. They're so much fun to forage. And we have 5 acres that we get to forage. And we have all sorts of mushrooms. We just went through morel season and we got quite a bit, and I'm really looking forward to the first chanterelles are just getting ready to be harvested maybe tomorrow. So yum, and I'm really excited about that. So between the gardens, the foraging, and everything that keeps me so busy, this is my favorite place in the world, and this is where my heart and soul is. So if you ever wonder why my chaotic little crazy gardens are as crazy as they are, it's because this is what it's all about. And again, this is just what it's all about. I always keep a fresh tea made every day. I keep cold tea in the fridge, and every night I make a nighttime tea before we go to sleep, so it kind of helps us to chill and end the day on a mellow note and hopefully help us sleep. So I usually try to focus on things that are good for calm, and I usually do a mix of fresh and dried. Usually during the summer I do a lot of fresh, but I do like to mix it up, especially if I don't have enough of one thing yet, like chamomile and lavender. I never am very successful at growing enough yet, so I do supplement those. So lavender, chamomile, I've got some red clover that I forage off our land. I dry it, then I bottle it. It's one of my favorite things to use. We have some echinacea, getting pretty low on this from last year, but it's okay because I have tons growing. I ran out to the garden and got some fresh things, got a little St. John's wort and some beautiful pineapple mint, smells so good, spearmint, and lemon balm. So I'll do a mix of the dried, a little bit of the fresh from outside, and some of the things that I already have drying. If there's something like I have borage and calendula, the spilanthes here, so if I'm focusing on pain, I will use some of that. Or I have some wild lettuce here, it's great for pain. So, you know, any of the things that kind of soothe and calm and chill for the evening. And so I'll just put a little bit of each thing into, pour the water over, let it sit for just a few minutes, and then pour it in. I strain it out and pour it into our cups. And then we will go in and watch a video or sit on the deck, or, you know, whatever it is that we want to do before bedtime in the evening, and enjoy our tea. I just put a little bit, as much as I feel like. Sometimes I really want to go heavy on the mint. Trav's not as crazy about the mint as I am, so usually I will go a little lighter for him, and a little bit of St. John's wort. And let's see, a little bit of borage, since we have a lot this year so far, and I've got so much coming in. Just a little bit of that, a little calendula, a little bit of dandelion. That's one of my favorites to put in our teas as well. I've got bee balm, daisy, just whatever, yarrow, that's another favorite. I have a lot of, that's my first year bloom of yarrow this year, so I'm really excited about that. And yes, I do use my hands because it's my house, so, and it's clean and I'm clean, so that's all that matters. My husband doesn't care. Do a little extra chamomile because it's a favorite. Not only is it very tasty, it really helps to make the tea a lot more enjoyable, but it's very good to chill you, mellow you, and sleep tight. So it'll get a little bit of hot boiling water over it and let it sit, and in a few minutes we'll have some wonderful tea that we really enjoy every single night. It's something that we have grown to really look forward to, and time spent together before we go to sleep. So it's just really, for us, it's just the best way to end the day.
Fireflies.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a frog?
Yeah.
Okay, is anything else good going to happen? One good thing happens and then we can...
There it was.
Good for you. That's one for real.